Rain analysis
on 96.3 WDVD.
So we're showing Dr. Michael Gray. He's in the studio. By the way, if you have any questions at all regarding cosmetic surgery, and maybe you've always wondered about liposuction or something like that, and you want to get an answer, call now, 313-298-9630. Dr. Gray, you're looking at the pictures right now that are supposedly of Madonna, and her arms are just really, really veiny.
Yeah.
Is there something that somebody could do for that, and what causes that?
Well, you got to understand that Madonna works out like a fiend.
Yeah.
So if she's going to burn fat, she burns it from all over her body, and she doesn't have any camouflage. And what I tell patients is that when you have areas that are a problem, those are areas that you can't fix.
Mm-hmm.
But, people are into working out, joggers run,
Right.
They try to fix things. And what happens is you can't decide where the fat's going to come. It comes out from all over the body, but typically first in areas that you don't want. So she has no camouflage, but she has more blood flow to her tissue, her muscles. So if she didn't like that vein, we can simply remove it because there are deeper veins that could bring the blood back to the heart. So removing that vein would not be an issue. With her hands, I would transfer fat to restore the volume, the camouflage back into her hands. Now, when people diet, they lose it.
You can do that?
Yeah, it's living tissue. It's called an
You take
organ.
fat from here and you put it over there.
Yeah, we take fat
distribution.
living tissue. We transfer it someplace
I got
else.
some fat that we could transfer.
Well,
Anyway.
I can't do it there. That's a urologist.
Hey, where the heck's my little...
Anyway, I heard you don't need it there. Good recovery, huh?
He's speaking of my legs.
I laughed.
He's speaking of my legs.
They call him the tripod.
My legs. Dude, don't make me use the dump button.
But what happens is that fat cells that you call the problem are resistant to diet and exercise.
Mm-hmm.
They do their job better than all other areas of the body. They store fat the best. They don't give it up. The purpose of a fat cell is to store. So people, in their attempt to treat that area, lose it from other areas, typically face and breasts, first in females, face in males. So then they come see me. Mm-hmm. So the biggest impetus to lose weight is having a baby because you've gained weight, and they all come in and they have implants.
Okay.
So the treatment of an area that's your problem is reducing that area with liposuction.
Okay. Well, we did have one comment under the pictures of Madonna, and one of our listeners said, some people are veiny. I couldn't print any close-up pics of me holding my wedding bouquet because they looked like a 90-year-old's hands, and that was when I was 26, not 50. So some people could actually have this veiny problem, and there are things they can do about it.
Yeah, but you got to understand that just simply having a vein, it doesn't mean that there's something wrong with it.
Right.
Everybody has veins. It's if you lost the volume around the veins, and then you see your tendons
Replace
as you
the
get
volume.
older. We can replace the volume. But remember, the way it works is when something bothers you, you can't leave yourself. It's with you 24 hours a day. It's always going to bother you. So it doesn't bother the person that's around them, so they don't really care. So when people say, why would you do something like that? Because it bothers me.
Right. Yeah, obviously.
So then you go for treatment.
So Madonna can just have some fat put in her arms.
Well, I wouldn't put it in her arms, but I would put it in her hands. But I would take that vein that's
the really big one.
Yeah,
the
that's
bulbous one.
unsightly, and she has other veins. She doesn't need that one.
Yeah.
It just doesn't look natural.
Looks painful.
It does look
Well, it
painful.
is natural. It's one of her veins that she has that, but you got to remember, she looks great for
She
her
does.
age.
Oh, she does.
She doesn't have any pole marks.
In those pictures that we posted, that's really the only unsightly thing on her.
Absolutely.
She's got, did you see what she doesn't have any pole?
That's right.
He's on a roll.
You know that one, right?
I know it.
I wouldn't touch her with 10-foot pole.
I had a delayed reaction. But
Yeah, I was wondering if you guys caught
well,
that.
we're sick
Well,
today.
I'm from New York, so I never know.
We're heavily medicated, Dr. Gray.
Really?
Hey, Dr. Gray, you're from New York, so you say soda?
The only reason why I say pop is because my daughter was born here.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you do say pop.
Now you're a Michigander.
There's a
pop.
whole big soda
But when
pop
I'm on
thing
the
going
East
on right
Coast,
now.
I don't say pop.
Yeah.
It's just like in Boston, they say
acclimate.
the
Oh,
You
bubbler.
acclimate? Thank
Right.
you. Somebody questioned me on that.
Yeah.
I said, my
Yeah.
husband worked in Boston. They say bubbler.
And in Ohio, they say please. I say, what?
Hey, Maria, you're on with Dr. Michael Gray. You have a C-section scar?
Yes, and it is awful.
What makes it awful?
Well, I had a previous surgery, then I had a C-section, a first one. This is my second one.
Well,
Then they
describe
went
the scar.
It's very wide. It's probably at least a half an inch wide.
Uh-huh.
It's very ropey and hard. So I'm thinking it's a keloid. It's just
No.
very bad.
No, it's not.
No?
The question is, did it open up on you?
Yes, it did.
That's why it's wide. You got a scar is glue, so you're glued together. It opened up. Now you're glued farther apart, and the ropiness is like a speed bump. That's
Okay.
hypertrophic scarring. People call that a keloid. It's not. A keloid is more common in African Americans, Asians, Indians, unlikely in a Caucasian. A keloid's a scar that grows up and extends over the edges like an umbrella. Okay?
Okay.
So we can do a few things. We can do a scar revision. Because it widened, we'd have to close it properly. So we use stitches to approximate to allow the body to glue the way we want it. So
Yeah.
we don't have to put stitches on the outside. We can put it on the inside, which is what I usually do.
Right, because I work in the
That's
medical
brilliant.
field. I was a nurse, and my husband is a doctor, and my OB did staples, and he took them out.
Now, I
it
don't
was
use
like
staples
4
on
days.
anybody because it leaves more scars.
Yeah,
It leaves
it
dots
does.
on the side.
Yeah.
So
and it looks painful after the
well,
fact,
they are.
too.
They hurt. If you touch a cut, it hurts. If you don't touch, it's fine. So when we're working with skin, it's just a paper cut. So what I do is not what you had. I work with skin. I work with fat. Fat has no nerve supply to it. It's painless. Skin feels like a paper cut if you touch it.
Right.
So I tell people,
So it's gonna
don't
hurt.
touch it.
Yeah.
And then muscle feels like a Charlie horse. So when people think of surgery, they get really scared because they're thinking of open heart surgery, hysterectomies. That's not what I do. So people are not addicted to cosmetic surgery. They're just not afraid of it.
Right.
So if I trim the skin off your upper lids, it's a paper cut.
Right.
I cut mine off 7 weeks ago.
I think he was just implying that you need some
I had
lid surgery
I had a
there.
friend of mine come in.
Maria, thanks for
my
the call.
trainer
Yeah.
came in, trimmed it.
Wow.
Jeez, dude.
See, look.
I know,
Look.
right?
It's a paper cut.
Oh
no
my
big
gosh.
We got another call here. It's from Kim. Kim, what happened? You had surgery and you're not really happy about what you have done.
So I lost about 100 pounds a few years back ago.
Congratulations.
I didn't have no surgery to lose it. I, decided to start eating right
That's
and
tough.
so on and so
Oof.
forth. And noticed I had a lot of excessive skin and thought that I had done my research very well on finding a plastic surgeon to help me out. He advised me to have liposuction done before I really wanted a tummy tuck done. Well, I ended up having the lipo done because he kind of reassured me that's probably what I should have had done. And now I have so much excessive skin that I'm actually in bigger clothes now than I was before I went and had my liposuction done.
Oh, my.
Well, this is how I would approach that. Basically, you have to find out what bothers you. Now, tucks, lifts are skin trimming procedures. They remove skin. They don't reduce volume. So what I tell people is I have to figure out if the tuck bothers them, the extra skin, the tuck is what they want, or they want the volume reduced. Now, if I did the tuck for you first, you probably not do the lipo. But I know if I do the lipo first, you're going to do a tuck. So the question is, was he trying to get two procedures from you, or did he just want to please you?
He would have pleased me if he would have just done the tummy tuck like I
Right.
had originally put my money
Right.
down.
Well, here's the thing. That's why it's very important to sit down with your patients and find out what bothers them. Because what bothers me means nothing.
Right.
So what I have to do is I have to go over all your options and make sure you understand what I do so that you can pick what you want to do.
We see this a lot.
Kim.
Congratulations, Kim, on your weight loss. That is
Yeah.
amazing, 100 pounds. And we see this a lot with The Biggest Loser being such a popular show.
Right.
People losing 100 plus 200 pounds. And then when you see them at the end of the show, they just have all of this skin.
Right.
And so I think that might be something that's happening more and
Now, I
more.
want people to understand that skin grows. It doesn't stretch. A stretch mark is when skin tore. You would never have a mark there if it's stretched.
Right.
So skin grows to cover you. If you're not covered, you're going to be eaten by organisms that we can't see, bacteria, viruses, things like that. So you have to maintain your protection, your armor, which is our skin. So if you grow in volume and height, if you grow too quickly before your skin can provide more cells, it tears and rips stretch mark. And skin's always growing. So it's not your elasticity that's the problem. It's wherever the skin's attached, you can see it dangle. Once you're dangling, you have extra skin.
And you can have that removed.
And we can either heat it non-surgically. We have things at Skin Deep that where we can heat tissue and it causes the cells to get tighter, like a shrink wrap. Or we have to do surgery where we hide the scars in inconspicuous areas
Right.
so that we can trim the skin.
Right.
So they call me the human tailor, basically.
Yeah, right?
you kind of are.
Absolutely.
So we take care of our cars. Let's take care of our bodies.
Exactly. You can check him out online, anewyou.com. Dr. Michael Gray, thank you very much.
Thank you for
Have an awesome
Lane
day.
and Allison in the morning.
This is 96.3 WDVD.